Okay. Oh, there she is. And then I think we're waiting on Steve. We'll just wait for him to join. We'll give him maybe a couple of more minutes. Okay. Hey, Veronica, how are you?
Joy, sorry, do we call you Wong Kyung? What's
Yes,
your
you can call me Wang Yang. Hi,
Wong Kyung?
Jason. So,
Hi there.
Jason, is this Bo?
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's
Okay.
me.
See, you
Uh-huh.
can't hide from us. I'm sorry.
Right. Nope. Um,
Nope, nope.
I don't know. It's weird. Different devices pick up my name in different ways. Like if
No,
I
it
use,
does that. Oh, so
yeah.
you must, do you have a lot of names?
Well, I not really. I'll just have two, Jason and Bo.
Hmm. Well,
Uh,
there's no judgment there because I have a gazillion names. So
yeah. Do you?
I
What are your
do.
names?
I'm sorry.
What are your names besides, Wong Kyung or
Oh,
uh,
Wang
Jessica.
Yang. Oh, if I tell you, I'll have to kill you. I'm kidding. So it's Won Young, and then Jessica, and then
oh,
Hyunju, um, and then Hyungyung. King is my Buddhist name. Um, and then I have oh, and I was Subin at one point. And then I just recently added another one called Seohyun. Seohyun. And yeah, so that's 7. And I'm pretty sure I have a few more names that
huh.
I don't use.
So when
Yeah,
do you change name, Joe? Whenever you need or just randomly?
Yeah,
yeah,
like every like 5 or 6 years, I decide, oh, I want a new identity. I want a new
right.
name. And then I change my
Yeah.
name.
It has its benefits, I'm sure, and then, but yeah. Well, they say, I guess the names are sort of they signify different, roles that we take, or even, lives that we have or whatever. So yeah, so I guess you're probably, wearing a lot of different hats, I imagine, or you have. I don't know,
Maybe,
maybe,
maybe.
yeah,
But
maybe you're more focused.
I do feel that there's definitely a different energy with the names. And then I heard that like in the past in Korea, people would have at least 3 different names during like 3 different phases of their life.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
I'm not completely out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's you're Korean by heritage, right? And then but you grew up in United States, or have you gone back to Korea?
No, not to live. I grew up in the States. I moved here when I was 3, and
Right.
I lived in New York all throughout until I moved down to Virginia for work, Washington, D.C.
Right. Huh.
Yeah.
Very
So,
interesting.
so have you always lived in Missouri?
No, I went to school in Columbia. Yeah, yeah. So I went to school, and that was Missouri too, but anyway, it seemed like a different state. It was more Iowa,
Mm. Oh,
Illinois,
okay, okay. Have I
Chicago
been
kid.
to Iowa? I don't think I've ever been to Iowa. No.
Huh. Well, yeah, anyway, I lived in South Korea for 3 years, from
I know you mentioned that.
97, yeah, to 2000. And then I lived in Scotland before that. I lived in the United Kingdom.
We need to give you a Korean name.
I would be open I think students have done that for me in the past, and I don't remember them, but yeah, probably I'm I'm due for a naming.
All right, so we'll find a good name for you.
Good old.
What about the Jason? Maybe Jason, Bo Jason,
Bo Jason?
Bo
Wait, but
Jason. Yeah.
is that a Korean name?
Yeah, Jason.
Ah, Jaesun. Ah,
Yeah.
that's a nice one.
Yeah,
No,
it
but I
is.
recently learned that you have to kind of dissect the name to make sure that it fits you. So I think you should do it
Yeah.
properly.
You
Yeah,
can
so
find
there's a
some
name
proper
giver in Korea. So
character.
I think
Yeah.
you should do it properly.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you
All right,
buy?
guys, we're gonna start because I don't want Teacher Sean to give me a hard time about always starting late. I love throwing him under the bus. So I see that Stephen is here.
Hi,
Welcome.
Jess.
Hi, good to see you. So it's 8:10. See, we were waiting for you. So okay, so I'm good.
The power went off here, so I had the delay. So
Really?
yeah, I had power. The spectrum something went off. I had no internet and no cell phone. I just read your
wow.
text. I had nothing. So
Oh, that's
lucky
insane.
lucky I came in. Also, I got good news. I'll tell you later.
Okay, yeah, share it later. So we're gonna start now. So let's turn our cameras off. And then I'm gonna turn the music off. So, oh, you guys give me so much energy. I love this because I was really feeling under the weather. And then I was feeling really like low energy, but I feel very good now seeing everyone here. So just do a mic check. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Okay, perfect. So let me see. So this is session 5. And we're almost there. We have 2 more sessions left in this program. And I think I mentioned it briefly. So we're still debating whether or not to record the last 2 sessions because the last 2 sessions involve ceremony. But then we'll give everyone we'll update you via the WhatsApp chat. But in any case, this is session 5, and we're gonna talk about and learn about purification and how that relates to. Wait a minute. Okay, and how that relates to our meditation practice. So in the previous session, we learned about the 3 main energy vessels in our body, which we can use to circulate energy during meditation for improved health and vitality. Today, we'll learn how to purify and clear these energy paths for more effective meditation. In our practice, purification means clearing and filling the vessels with light. In filling the energy vessels with light, we can remove the energy blockages in the pathways, namely the penetrating, governing, and conception vessels. And I'm going to pull up the slide so that we can all see what those vessels look like. And I know this is not the first time I'm showing it, but it's always good to review. So this is the penetrating that cuts through the middle. The governing runs up along the back, and the conception, starting from right around the chin area, runs down the front of your body. So and then to end at the perineum. So forming a loop. So the conception and the governing vessels form a loop, and then the penetrating vessel just cuts through. So how can we fill our bodies with light? We can purify our energy vessels using the Om Hum breathing meditation. We can also receive and accumulate light in our bodies by chanting the divine mantras, the Teruju mantra and the Shichunjuju mantra. So if you attended session 2 or replayed it on YouTube, we discussed chanting meditation in session 2. And just to recap, because I think it's important for today, when you recite the mantras, especially the Teruju and the Shichunjuju mantras with purpose, you'll allow yourself to absorb the pure energy of the universe. And again, sound is energy, much like everything in this world is energy, and it has the power to heal or hurt, depending on the intention. And a mantra is a combination of sacred sounds that forms the foundation of the universe. So when you meditate with it, it has a lot of power and it aids your meditation. Mantras comprise, again, sacred sounds that help us achieve oneness with heaven and earth. So what does this mean exactly? And in order to understand this, you need to understand Yurya, which again, we go into some detail in session 2, but just to recap, Yulia is a fundamental cosmic force, and it forms the basis for the endless power of creative change. And everything in the universe came into being from the flow of yin and yang. So again, these are all terms that we seem to be throwing out there, but we're going to explain this in greater detail in upcoming sessions. So, so just hold tight. And Yulia represents the purest state of yin and yang. And again, yin and yang, everything in this world is comprised of yin and yang. Everything functions because of yin and yang. Everything, all the changes that we observe in this world is a result of the movement of yin and yang. So the harmonious circulation of these energies allows the universe to live on eternally. So what we do essentially by meditating with the mantras, as we chant the mantras, we're able to absorb that energy, that Yulia energy from the universe. It may not be so easy to understand at this point in the practice, but for now, just accept it, and then we're going to really delve more deeply into it in later sessions. So most likely next year. And I think session 5, once we come to session 5, we're actually really starting to pull everything that we've learned up until this point together. So in session 1, we talked about true breathing, where again, breathing, so normal breathing, everyday breathing entails breathing oxygen through your nose and breathing and breathing that oxygen into your lungs. So that's one type of breathing. But then true breathing entails breathing in the cosmic energy and the light, using all the cells in your body. And that's achieved through meditation. And it's essential for us to identify the energy portals in our bodies and clear the energy vessels, because we need to circulate that energy properly to fully benefit from that practice. And in session 3, we talk about circulation, and we discussed the fire descending, water ascending technique to help move that yin and yang energy up and down our bodies. And session 4, we get into more detail about the specific energy vessels that carry that energy throughout our body. And today, as we talk about purifying or unclogging those energy vessels, because in a lot of the times when you're not maintaining a consistent practice due to stress or due to the foods we eat, just our lifestyle, our energy vessels tend to get clogged. So when we're meditating, it makes it a little bit more difficult to carry our breath and our energy through our body. And you're going to feel that you're going to feel that tension and that resistance as you're breathing in and out. So it doesn't feel comfortable or natural as you're meditating. But through the practice that we're going to do today, and through all of the practices that we've learned, all of the parts, so we've learned different parts of our meditation practice over the last 4 weeks. So all of those parts will help us to clear the energy vessels and to allow for us to fully benefit from this practice. So for today, we're going to use the lower Tanjan, and the lower Tanjan is this area. So it's a very it's this general area below your belly button, and we also say that it's kind of more center, like you. Bring the focus down about 3 inches below your belly button, where the sacral chakra is, and then pull that in. Inside, so it cuts through the middle of your body. So that area, that central area, is the lower Tanjan. And we're going to use the lower Tanjan to allow the cosmic light from the universe to enter our bodies. So when you're meditating, bring awareness to that area and imagine light entering. So as well as And we're also going to use mantra meditation and the vibrations from our chants to fill these vessels meaning these energy vessels, the penetrating, governing, conception vessels with light to clear all of the blockages. So we will explain cosmic light in another session, but for today, let's just focus on the sounds and the vibrations. So as a reminder, our body has 3 energy portals, the upper Danjan, the middle Danjan, which is where your heart chakra is, and the lower Danjan. Again, the lower Danjan is near the sacral chakra, but it's more, it's inside your body, like in the center. It cuts through the middle of your body. And then the upper Danjan starts slightly above, so it's where the third eye chakra is. It's in that vicinity above the eyebrows, but it really includes all of that area above your eyebrows. And then at the center of your upper Danjan is the pineal gland. So the pineal gland is a small gland that's in the middle of your brain, and that has a lot of spiritual aspects to it too. So let me see. So before we move on, I want to point out that the lower and the upper Danjan demonstrate how the intangible and the tangible are interconnected in our bodies. So if I were to explain this, the lower Danjan is where we store essential energy, which is used throughout our body. And in this way, the lower Danjan is tied to the physical world through function, but has no shape or form. It exists only spiritually. On the other hand, the pineal gland in the upper Danjan is a tiny gland inside our brain, and it is physically present but serves as a gateway into the spirit world. This is the interplay of yin and yang, and it exemplifies how we rely on our body's physical and spiritual components. So we're going to jump right into the meditation today. So as always, let's start. I'm going to pull up the slide. So let's start by aligning our perineum with the 0 coordinates on the ground's imaginary X and Y axis. This will help you visualize that you're sitting at the center of the universe, or the beginning, where it all started. Remember that in the world of Tao, our thoughts have great power, and what we imagine becomes real, and our thoughts can shape our world. So when we position ourselves on the 0 coordinates of the axes in our minds, we place our spiritual selves at the center of the universe, where the energy is densely concentrated. And in later sessions, we're also going to explain in greater detail why this is important. So please push your pelvis forward to help straighten your back, and your shoulders should be relaxed and your back should not feel strained. Just as in the last session, as you exhale, imagine the energy traveling from your crown chakra to your perineum along the penetrating vessel, and release all the tension in your body with your breath. When you inhale, open the lower Danjan and let in the cosmic life and light energy through this energy portal. Fill your body with this cosmic energy and light as you raise your breath again to your crown chakra. We will start by meditating with the sounds Om and Hum. Feel the sounds moving along the penetrating vessel. Imagine the vibrations breaking down all of the energy blockages, and exhale with Om and inhale with Hum. So again, in the previous sessions, we discussed carrying our breath and energy up and down the penetrating vessel. I'm going to pull up that slide again. Up and down the penetrating vessel, bringing awareness to that vessel. And when we practiced the fire descending, water ascending technique, we pictured 2 balls of light moving up and down, alternating up and down the penetrating vessel. This time, I'd like for everyone to bring our awareness to the penetrating vessel, and with our breath and our thoughts, move that energy up and down the penetrating vessel, but this time, try to fill the vessel with light, with your thoughts, fill it with light, and imagine that the light is breaking down all of the energy blockages. So as you breathe in and out, and as you move the energy up and down the penetrating vessel, you're going to actually feel it eventually. So it may not happen overnight, but eventually as you continue to practice, you're going to feel less of that resistance that you may be feeling today. So, so again, when we're breathing in, we're going to inhale with whom. And then when we exhale, we're going to exhale with om. And when we're exhaling, we can make the sound om as we exhale, but then when we inhale, it may be a little difficult for us to make the sound whom. So if you find it difficult, just make the sound in your mind and just feel the vibrations of that sound through your thoughts as you're moving the energy up and down the penetrating vessel. So I'm going to turn on, and I'll guide you for the first minute or two, and then you can try it on your own. So first, we're going to start with the Om and Hum meditation. And I just want to play this on repeat, and we'll do it for about 15 minutes. Okay, so first, I always like to start in the lower Tanjan. So when we start in the lower Tanjan, bring awareness to your lower Tanjan. And with whom, you're going to bring that energy up along the penetrating vessel to all the way up to your upper Tanjan. And you can go all the way up to the crown chakra, which is at the tip of your head, the top of your head. And then with Om, you're going to exhale, and you're going to bring that energy back down all the way to the lower Tanjan. And you can bring it all the way down to the perineum if you'd like. So just push that energy past the lower Tanjan, all the way to the perineum. And then you'll repeat that process again with whom as you pull that energy up to your crown chakra. And then as you exhale, you're going to exhale with Om, bringing that energy down the penetrating vessel to your perineum. So, okay, so I'm going to turn the music on. Bring your awareness to your lower Tanjan. Okay, so bringing your focus to your lower Tanjan, we're going to take the first breath in with Om. So with the audio, and as you take your breath in, it helps sometimes to expand your lower belly slightly. So there we go. Pull up the energy. So inhale, and as you inhale, you're going to pull the energy up along the penetrating vessel, all the way up to your crown chakra, and hold. Exhale, you're going to bring that energy down along the penetrating vessel to the perineum, and hold. Inhale with whom, bringing that energy up along the penetrating vessel and filling that vessel with light. So picture light entering that vessel and clearing all of those blockages. Exhale. Again, as you bring that energy down, you're going to clear that energy vessel with light and the vibrations of the chant, bringing it all the way down to the perineum. Inhale, bringing that energy up along the penetrating vessel to your crown chakra. And if you feel any resistance, just bring awareness to it. Exhale, bringing your breath and your energy down in the penetrating vessel, all the way down to the perineum. Inhale. And try to feel the vibrations against the penetrating vessel as you bring your energy up and down. Exhale. Bring the energy and your breath down to the perineum. And we'll continue this for another 12 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to try the same thing with the Teochew and the Shichunjuju mantras. So once I turn the audio on, you're gonna notice that it's going to be a little bit more dynamic, and I guess just go with the beat. You know, you may end up having to breathe a little because the Om and the Hum meditation was a little bit more relaxed. You know, it may have allowed you to elongate your breath, but with the dynamic meditation, specifically, you know, with the Shichun Juju and Teochew mantras, it's a much faster beat, but then you can still slow your breath along, you know, even with that rhythm. So you'll see what I mean as soon as I turn it on. But we're gonna do about 10 minutes of the mantra meditation. And we'll do the same thing. So we're gonna trace the penetrating vessel with our breath and our thoughts and you don't have to recite the mantras. You can just, for now, it's sufficient to just focus on the sounds and the vibrations. And as you breathe in and out, and just try to focus on the rhythm of the mantra or played on the audio. And once you feel comfortable, you can start reciting the Teochew mantra. And I can even pull it up so that you can read along. But for now, it may be best for you to just focus on the sounds and the vibration rather than trying to focus on, you know, reading the mantra and breathing and doing everything at the same time. But it's completely up to you. I will pull up the mantras for everyone to, you know, as a guide. And again, we're going to breathe in and out with the mantra so that our breath moves up with one complete chant of the mantra and down with another complete chant of the mantra. So that's usually how it's done. But because it's so fast paced, you may not be able to identify when the mantra starts and ends. So it takes time for you to train your ear to do that. So in that case, just don't stress over that. Just focus on the rhythm and your individual breath. So go at your own pace. Just listen to the music, enjoy the music, and just feel the vibrations as you breathe in and out, bringing the energy up and down the penetrating vessel. So I'm going to turn the audio on now. And so we'll do about 10 minutes of this. So I always like to start in the lower dungeon. So bring the awareness there. And then as soon as the mantra starts, you're going to pull that energy up along the penetrating vessel. And again, as with the Om and Hum mantra meditation, you're going to picture light filling up in the penetrating vessel. So that's how we're clearing that energy vessel. So along with the mantra, you know, use the sound, again, sound is energy. So use the sound, use the vibrations, as well as the light as you're breathing in and out and moving that energy up and down the penetrating vessel. So I'm going to play the audio. So again, when you breathe in, you move the energy up. When you breathe out, you move the energy down.
시천주 조하정 영세 불망만사지 지기금지 원위대강 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 시천주 조하정 영세 불 조화정 영세 불망만사 위계금계 화무이대가 훔치 태울 천상원고 내 죄야 노래 내 앞니 사파 훔치 태울 천상원고 내 죄야 노래 내 앞니 사파 훔치 태울 천상원고 내 죄야 노래 내 앞니 사파 훔치 태울 천상원고 내 죄야 노래 내 앞니 사파
Okay, so I hope everyone enjoyed that. So today we only focused on the penetrating vessel, but at the end of the 7-week course, we usually hold extended sessions to practice using the governing and the conception vessel. So definitely stay tuned for those extended sessions. We usually just focus on the penetrating vessel because it tends to be a new practice, and we just try to keep it as simple as possible. But just follow along, and then we'll continue to introduce the other vessels, so we can all so that we can all practice with all 3 of the vessels. So today we learned about the purification process using Om and Hum, the Shichun Juju, and the Teochew mantras. In the next session, we'll learn how to purify and heal our bodies more powerfully with what we call the light gene, or the God DNA. That requires some explanation, and we're going to explain everything next week during the session. So definitely join us for session 6 and 7, because 7 is also very interesting. But yeah, so I think that concludes the meditation portion of this session, and we're gonna jump right into the question and answer. You guys can everyone can turn their videos back on. Oh, and let me just stop the recording.